Hi, everybody. It's Coach Debbie, and I am coming to you live from Florida, which is not where I live. I'm on vacation with my husband, so we are childless and loving it. In case that you are just meeting me, my name is Debbie, and I am a mother of four and a widow turned newlywed who used to avoid all things exercise as well as all things healthy. And I'm here to prove to you that change is possible. That is my mission, for you to know you can actually look and feel your best regardless of your past, and with dieting or deprivation, whatever that may look like. I want you to be encouraged that right now change can start. That's my mission. So you have seen the title of this broadcast. Do you need results? Yes, we all want results, right? So maybe you're killing it as far as exercise goes, and you're like, when exactly should I expect to see results? Or maybe you're thinking, I used to get results and now I don't. Do I just need to quit working out altogether? Is it just pointless? What is the answer? I hear this frustration from a lot of women, and I can relate. I can relate to working really hard, sweating even, and nothing changes. What the crap is that about? Well, I want you to be encouraged, because really what you might be doing is just exercising wrong. So I'm not here to lecture you or beat you up and tell you that all things are just going down the toilet, but you may not be exercising very efficiently and effectively if you're not getting results. And so I want to go down just a few suggestions that can really simplify your life. So I'm not going to be adding more to your plate, but rather, how can we subtract things from your plate and make things more efficient so that you're like, look who got results, what's up, right? So the first thing, let me just start really basic. And you might be doing all of these things already really well. Congratulations. But chances are you need to make just a few tweaks. These are very doable. The first thing is, your workouts may not be bringing results because it has nothing to do with exercise. It might be what you're doing in the kitchen. So if you're not eating for fat loss, then what happens during your workout is you're building muscle, but you're building it on top of a layer of fat. So doing workouts can actually make you larger, ladies, if you are not eating clean. And you're like, if you don't know what eating clean is, that's okay. What I mean by eating clean is really eating in the shortest, simplest way, whole foods, okay? Things that are natural, right? Things without added GMOs and added sugars and added gluten. All those buzzwords are kind of important, but when our diet and nutrition is totally off kilter, then congratulations. You get to not only sweat, but you get to get fatter, basically. Isn't that disgusting? Isn't that like if in a perfect world, I would work out 2 hours a day and eat pizza every day if I could, but it simply doesn't work that way. There's not that kind of math. So if you're not getting results, the first thing you need to check is your nutrition, unfortunately. Another invisible culprit to the reason that you're not getting the results that you want from your workouts is you are stressed out. Can you relate to being like off the freaking charts with how stressed out you are? You know, you're like, my work is crazy, my family is crazy, my finances are crazy, and now it's the holiday like mania. I get it. If you are stressed out, exercise actually may or may not be the best option for you right now. If you cannot tame the stress and find ways to reduce it consistently and regularly, then your workouts are simply not going to allow you to buy a belt. And you're just going to struggle to get that top button done because you're letting stress get the best of you and probably putting yourself last, if we're going to be honest. Another invisible culprit to the reason that results have like screeched to a halt and you're all ticked off about it is because you're not getting enough rest. So I've done a YouTube video before about how crucial shut-eye is. If you're not getting enough sleep, your body will not cooperate with your goals. So even though you may say, I really want to lose 10 pounds by the end of the year, or I really want to wear that little black dress at the Christmas party, I'm just going to work out harder. No. Sleep harder. I'm telling you, if you can just start adding 30 minutes of more sleep, it will pay off with your body. Not only will you have more energy to work out and to work out harder, it just naturally happens because of the hormonal reset that happens when we get some Z's. So de-stressing and sleeping go hand in hand with getting results. What else? Well, let's talk about actual exercise, whether you exercise at home like I do, or you have a gym membership, or you go to some boot camps, you get together with some girls in your garage, whatever the setup is. Let's kind of zero in on why that isn't working. Because you're like, well, my heart is pounding and my clothes are drenched and I smell like a dump truck. Isn't that enough to get results? If it's not working, something needs to change. And that's going to look different for everybody. You know, it really, truly is. Number one, you need to do exercise that you enjoy, because if you hate it, you won't stick with it. So my first suggestion is to get consistent with your workouts. I know you're really busy. I know it's like, oh, I have so much to do, and the workouts get shoved off to the side. It's cool. I have those weeks sometimes where life just doesn't go as planned. But there needs to be consistency. Yes, there is grace. Yes, you don't have to be perfect. But I would suggest working out a minimum of 2 to 4 times a week. Really, just 2 or 3 is going to be enough, right? So I would like you to put on your calendar, whether that's paper and pencil or you're fancy and you've got like all the little things on your phone, which I don't understand. And I'm so happy for those of you who do understand, because I'm not one of them. But to put on your calendar and treat it as an appointment, the same as you would going to the dentist or the doctor. This is self-care. So if you're kind of working out twice a month and expecting to look like a swimsuit model, it will never happen. It just won't. Okay? And that does still go back to all the things I've already said about nutrition, sleep, and stress. But if you're kind of all over the place, that's going to be the first tweak to make, is say, how can I just do some kind of activity at least 2 days a week? And then once 2 becomes a habit, then you can bump it up to 3. And maybe you stay at 3 forever, or maybe you get to the point where you take a walk every day, and however, whatever that looks like for you, but you've got to be consistent about it. It's an investment and it does become habit. I'm telling you, I hated exercise and I really just wanted to eat tacos. Really, I just wanted to go to Taco Bell. But over time, I have become consistent. I had to work out the same days of the week. I could not switch it around. I had to follow my particular pattern that worked best with my schedule. The next thing that you probably haven't considered about why you're not getting results is, how do you talk to yourself? Whether it's before, during, or after a workout. Are you constantly beating yourself up and maybe not even realizing it? So I'm going to be real honest. Back when I had a gym membership and I was kind of new to all things fitness, I would get on the elliptical, which I hated. So that was a problem. That's why I didn't stick with it, because I hated it. I hate cardio. And I would tell myself, your butt is so disgusting. And that would, in my mind, I thought, propel me forward to work harder as I was trucking away on the elliptical. So I was actually like defeating myself during. Like, isn't that horrible to be like, you know, your butt is so gross? Like, that I don't know. It's sad to me, that I would talk to myself that way. And I wonder what you're telling yourself. Like, I look stupid doing this move, or I hope no one's watching me, or I wish I could look like that girl over there. I think it's really important that we get to the emotional connection that fitness can have, that we start cheering for ourselves, maybe not out loud, but in our head going, this feels really good, or I'm stronger than I thought I was. Those little things that really can encourage yourself, because encouragement is what brings change. Not beating ourselves up or shaming ourselves about it. And my next point is, with your nutrition, and your sleep and your stress, as you think about, why are my exercising habits not bringing results? Are you actually measuring? I talk to a lot of women each week, and sometimes they tell me, Debbie, I reached a plateau. What the crap? Like everything just halted. And it's not actually true when we actually dig deeper. So I'm encouraging you to start measuring, not with the scale. Go ahead and throw that piece of crap out, right? It's not an accurate assessment of body change. It simply measures your relationship with gravity, and it can change greatly just within a 24-hour stretch. So instead, get a tape measure and record the size of your arms, your neck, your chest, your belly, hips, thighs, calves, all of these things, and check that every week or two, because chances are change is happening, but it might be at a snail's pace. So you need to stay encouraged, because you might say like, oh wow, actually what my result has been is getting more sleep or less stress, or actually my waist has gone down 1/8 of an inch this month. And so slow change, I think, is the change that actually sticks, because we don't need diets. That's a bunch of madness. Is so much deprivation, and it only brings discouragement. Instead, you can see that, wow, my workouts are actually working for me. I also am not a huge fan of, I love the group aspect to workouts. I love teaching group workouts. I do know that a lot of things I see on Pinterest or at fun little boot camps is exercise becomes kind of a game, which I'm all about distracting myself during a workout and making it enjoyable and fun. Absolutely. However, when it kind of becomes a game of like doing a bunch of jumping jacks and things like that, I'm like, is that really working? Is it actually targeting those muscles we want to target so that we're getting stronger and leaner? Maybe, maybe not. It's something to think about, that if this kind of feels like a lot of hype, perhaps it is. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I don't like about 75% of the workouts that I find on Pinterest. I'm like, who wants to do 200 sit-ups? That's not the way you get rock hard abs, is by doing 200 sit-ups. No, gracias. So make sure you find someone that has a body that you admire. Seriously. Like, go on social media or whatever and say, I really like the way her body looks, and then see what she's doing, right? So instead of looking at Pinterest like clip art or caricatures or whatever they are, find a real person and just say, do you do a bunch of jumping jacks? Do you run 10 miles a day? She probably doesn't. Okay. So there is some work in a workout. It can't always be funny and silly, and there's a time and place for some of that, but not on the regular. Another thing on my list, I've got my list going so that I stay on track because I get real ADD, is to lift weights. You don't have to lift weights. I love body weight workouts. I do those. I did one today. I did a 10-minute body weight workout. It was fabulous. But I do encourage you to get the maximum results in the fastest amount of time, is get over the fear of lifting weights, knowing you will not turn into the Hulk. I don't think I look like the Hulk personally. And know that you will unleash your metabolic potential. You will start burning fat like it's your freaking job. Now remember, that still goes back to my initial comment about On Track Nutrition. If you don't know what On Track Nutrition looks like, you need to contact me because I really want to help. Because again, if you're just following Pinterest, it's going to lead you astray. But by lifting those challenging weights, that creates your lean muscle mass while burning fat. A lot of women ask me, well, what size is heavy? What does that even mean? I can't answer that because it depends on your fitness level as well as if you have past injuries, which a lot of people do. What I encourage you to do is find a weight that challenges you because the workout is about you. You're competing against you and no one else, right? You want to maintain good form. So that's one way to know if maybe I'm lifting too heavy, if I can't even do this properly, and to start as light as you need to. A lot of times I tell people, if you're going to the store, which I buy my weights used at Play It Again Sports, try to do some moves. You want to be able to do 10, but not 11. Because the workouts that I love doing, the metabolic effect workouts, are rest-based workouts. So I need to take rests, and that need for rest increases as my workout goes on each minute. So you want to be able to do 10, but not 11. And that may be very different. For you, that might be lifting 5-pound weights, or it might be lifting 20-pound weights. But you are stronger than you think, and you can actually lift heavier than you give yourself credit for. So go ahead and try it. I felt very nervous when I first started lifting weights a few years ago. I felt like everybody was staring at me. I felt like guys were creepy, and I was so new. It was very awkward, but I wanted results, and I know you do too. So I actually a lot of times would go hide in like a different corner of the gym where not many people were. And then I would do my workout until I got to the point where I felt really confident and would just be like, those guys can move out of my way. I pay a membership here. I deserve to be here too. and then it just over time just seemed to make more sense for me to consistently work out, to do that at home. I just decided I have mirrors at home to check my form. I can crank up the music of my choice, and I can usually work out while something is baking in the oven. Hello, which, I mean, that just made it really helpful to me. The last thing I'm going to suggest about why aren't my workouts working? How do I get results? This is what most people, this is like my number one tip that I saved for the end. So I'm glad that you have stuck it out with me. I want you to pick your set of workouts, whether you're doing 2 a week, 1 a week, 3 a week, 4 a week. I don't really think you need to do more than that because you need time to repair what you've done. You don't need to exercise every day. More is not better. Going harder is not always the way to do it because success in all things is not always linear. So you need to build in rest days. That can be even like another thing where if you over exercise, you won't get results because your hormones are so jacked up that you're not getting time to repair the stress that you have done to your body. So sometimes you just need to rein it back because a lot of girls are telling me they're killing it 7 days a week, and that just doesn't lead to better results. It actually leads to burnout and can really affect you psychologically. So my number one last suggestion, this is a big one. Pick your workout routines, which I would love to help you create those. I have fabulous workouts. But what you're going to do is you're going to repeat the same workouts. So let's say you've got like 3 workouts picked out. You're going to repeat those for 4 weeks. Because what most people are doing, unfortunately, is they're working out a different workout every time. Because we like variety, we want to switch it up, and we want it to be fun, and we like change, you know? Unfortunately, when you look at elite athletes, they are not doing a different workout. And this is what makes your life easier, is because you're not having to always find new workouts to do. You find those magic 3, and you're going to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, let's say. You're going to do those same 3 workouts for a month. Yes, it will be a little bit monotonous, perhaps a little bit boring, but here's the payoff. You get more confident in those moves. You get better at doing those moves, and that's how you can actually monitor your progress. You can say, oh dang, I'm now lifting heavier weights than I was 2 weeks ago. How'd that happen? Because if we get so caught up in that gimmick of muscle confusion, we don't get results. So by repetition, that is where it's at. And that's what no one is talking about. We're all like, oh, let's just do fun, entertaining workouts, and we'll just change it up so I can confuse my muscles. So I'll just do different things, and I'll kind of guess along the way, hoping like, I hope this works. Maybe I do 200 sit-ups today, and then I'm going to hold like a 4-minute plank tomorrow. And no. Find good quality workouts that are working a variety of your muscles, that there is variety within those 3 workouts, but that they're involving a lot of functional strength training. You want it to be functional because this is real life, right? In real life, you have to bend over and pick up stuff. I mean, that's why we lift heavy weights, because it's functional. And find out how results can finally come by repeating for 4 weeks, up to even 6 weeks if you're up for it. If that just freaks you out, then just do 3 weeks, an easier way into it. These are some of my suggestions, and I would love for you to comment below what you would add to the list. Maybe you are finally getting results. You're like, yeah, I broke through. What's up? What's my name? And you can share with us, because let's all learn from each other. Let me just recap looking at my list. I want you to have A+ nutrition, and that may mean skipping workouts so that you can prep food. I want you to de-stress so that your hormones are not so jacked up that your body no longer responds. That may mean skipping a workout sometimes. I also want you to sleep more. It can do wonders in about 150 ways for your body. And that may mean sometimes skipping a workout, right? Like, I'm giving you permission to like go to bed. If it means getting sleep or getting that workout in, if that's where you are, then you've got to pick what may not make the most sense. And then you want to consistently work out. Set a plan, pick your 3 workouts for the next 4 weeks, and do them consistently. As you do them, you're going to talk happily to yourself, cheer yourself on, be like, look at my thigh flexing. Look how strong my calves are. Look at me, my arms that can lift heavy stuff. Build yourself up, because you are fabulous. Right now, in the now, you are already fabulous, even if the results are slow. And the results may not be as slow as you think once you actually start measuring with a measuring tape instead of that blasted scale that lies to you and makes you grouchy. I do not own a scale. I go when I go to the doctor's office, and that's the only time I need to go. Do not make workouts into a game. Yes, they can be fun. We don't need to switch them up all the time and do all this silliness. It's got to be real work. And my workouts are only 20 minutes. I work out 20 minutes max, no longer. It's not longer is better or more is better. You just want to work out smarter. Don't always follow Pinterest. Find someone who's got a great body and find out what is their regimen. Talk to 5 people who you think have great bodies and see the common thread that they all have, knowing that you can lift heavy weights. That's a great way to get the most bang for your buck, and to repeat the same workouts, that same cluster that you've chosen for the next 4 weeks. So go ahead and comment below. What would you add? How do you get those results that you are so desperately craving? I'm so glad that you joined me. If you are late joining the broadcast, make sure you start from the beginning. And I just so value your time and hope you have a great night. And I will see you at my next broadcast. Bye.